Welcome everybody to Mr. Schultz's Integrated 2 class. We're going to do notes on 6-3, areas of circles and sectors. So, the area of a circle. So, remember in middle school, I think 6th grade, you learned about the area of a circle is pi r squared. So, pi times the radius, or pi times r squared. So here we go. Here's an example. Patio. Keon is building a circular patio in his backyard. What is the area of the patio to the nearest square foot? So I don't think I have it in there, but it's in the book. It's 24 feet is the diameter. So it looks like this. It's like, hey, look, I'm 24 feet across. Now, I always like to remember this. When you eat d pi, your circumference grows. But that has nothing to do with this. Just know that the diameter is equal to 2 times the radius. So if we know that the diameter is 24 feet, we can divide by 2 on both sides using the division property of equality, and we get that the radius is equal to 12 feet. So the area of this patio would be, pi times 12 feet squared. So that would be 144 pi square feet. Or the area is about, it's about 452 square feet. Now, if you're wondering what do we use for pi, there's a little symbol in your calculator. You just click it, you do 144 times, and you push that symbol pi, and that'll give you the result. So it says, Keon can purchase paving stones for $135 per square yard. About how much will he spend on paving stones? Well, if it's $135 per square yard, we'd have to convert. So we understand that 1 foot would be 3 yards. But we are asking about square yards. So if we do 1 foot times 1 foot, that would give us 1 square foot. So if we do 3 yards times 3 yards, we would get 9 square yards. Well, there we go. So for every 1 square foot, it's 9 square yards. Wait a second there. That's not right. That's actually switched. Let me erase that. It's actually yards. Oh, erase. So, mix that up for a second. It's 1 yard for every 3 feet. Yeah, I was thinking for a second there. I was like, wait a second here. So 1 yard times 1 yard would be 1 yard squared. There we go. That's equal to 9 square feet. There we go. Because I was like, wait a second. Isn't feet smaller? Yeah, it is. So we're going to take this and we're going to convert it. We understand that it's going to be 135 per square yard. Well, let's take this information we have right here. We know that it's going to be, 104. So since we are dealing with a new problem, we should probably leave it as pi. So I know it's 144 pi feet squared. I'm going to convert this. So I know that it's 9 square feet per 1 square yard. So I'm going to cancel out the feet and the feet. I'm going to divide the 144 by 9. So that is 16. Now, for those of you that didn't realize that, 1 second. Why, yes, it is. So it's 16 pi. But wait, it's not feet squared anymore. It's now yard squared because the feet squared canceled out. All right, so what I do is I take this now. I'm going to have 16 pi yard squared. And I know that it's $135 per 1 yard squared, or 1 square yard. So I'm going to divide yard by yard, and then I'm simply just going to do 135 times 16 pi. And when I do that, now I've gone to my last step. Now I can write this out. I can actually put in the calculator and say, okay, get rid of pi times 16 times 135, and that will give me, with a unit of dollars, 6,786. That's a lot. I wouldn't spend that much money. All right, let's go on. Example 2. Use the area of a circle to find the missing measure. So it says find the diameter of a circle with the area of 196 pi square yards. All right, well, I understand that diameter is equal to 2 times the radius. All right, well, let's figure out what the radius is. How do we do that? Well, we'd have to figure out the area of the circle, which is area is equal to pi r squared. So I know that the area is 196 square yards, and that's equal to pi radius squared. Well, now all I need to do is I need to divide by pi on both sides. And I would get, oh, I forgot my pi right here. I have a pi right here, 196 pi yards squared. So pi divided by pi is 1. Pi divided by pi is 1. And I get 196 yards squared is equal to radius squared. So what's the opposite of squaring? The opposite of squaring is square rooting. So we are going to find the square root of 196. How do we do that? We use a calculator. That's it. Just put 196 square root. So square root of yard squared would give me yard. And the square root of 196 is, 14. So it's going to be 14 yards is equal to the radius. Oh, wait, there's more. The diameter is 2 times the radius. So if I take this 2 times 14 yards, the radius is going to be 28 yards. That's the diameter. All right, well, let's go on. So we have this final thing right here. We're going to learn about the area of sectors. So we have 2 examples up to this. So a sector is a region of the circle bounded by the central angle and intercepted arc. So basically, it's like a slice of pizza. The formula for the area of the sector is similar to the formula for the arc length. So the ratio of the area A of the sector to the area of the whole sector, pi squared, is equal to the ratio of the degree measurement of the intercepted arc x to 360. So let's go on. Basically what it's saying is, hey, the area of the sector divided by the whole area of the circle is equal to the degrees of the sector divided by the total degrees of the circle. That's pretty much what it's saying. Hey, So the part to the whole, this is literally a part to the whole proportion or ratio. So let's go on. Example 3. Malaya is playing a game where she must track her progress using sectors of a circle and a circular game piece. The game piece has a diameter of 3.5 centimeters. All right, well, let's write this in right now. D equals 3.5 centimeters. And is divided into 6 congruent sectors. All right, well, okay, here you go. What is the area of one sector to the nearest hundredth? So if you remember, we have that formula. We have to figure out the area of the whole circle in order to figure out the area of the little circle. So the area, well, first we have to find the radius. So the radius would be half of 3.5, which would be 17.5 or 1.75 centimeters is equal to the radius. All right, so let's take that. So pi r squared would be over the area of the sector is equal to the degrees divided by 360. All right, well, I know that the degrees, this is 6 equal parts, so that'd be 6 divided by 360, which would be 60 degrees. So I'm going to rewrite this over here. I know that 60 degrees is equal to 360 degrees. How do I know that? Well, 6 times 6 equal parts times 60 would be 360. Would be equal to the area of the sector divided by pi and then 1.75 centimeters squared. All right, doing a little simplification. I know this would be 1/6 right here is equal to the area. Now, I could actually multiply these out to get rid of this. So why don't I do that? 1.75 centimeters, and then I'm going to square it. So I want to get this a by itself. So the bottom part, how do I get rid of division? I'm going to multiply. I'm going to multiply the bottom by pi, 1.75 centimeters squared on top. I'm going to multiply this by pi, and then 1.75 centimeters squared. Oh, that's kind of hard to read right there. Let's rewrite it so it's easier to read. So these will cancel, and I'm going to be left with the area is equal to 1.75 centimeter. I don't like that thickness. Let's try to go a little bit thicker. Squared times pi divided by 6. All right. So if I do all that and I use my calculator and multiply these 3 things on top, 1.75 times 1.75 times pi, and then divide it by 6, I should get, around, the area is going to be around 1.6 centimeters squared. All right, last one. Use the area of a sector to find the area of a circle. So one sector of the circle has an area of 42. So I'm going to go like this. I'm going to go like this. This is the broken area. This is 42 feet squared right here. And it has the measure of 45 degrees. 45 degrees. All right, well, I can write out the information right here. I know that I have 42 feet squared divided by pi r squared is equal to, well, I know it's 45 degrees over 360. Well, I want to get this area right here. It's on the bottom. That's not good. I'm going to multiply it so he's now on the top. except, yeah, it says find the area of the circle. So I'm going to leave this as, I'm going to take this. I want this as the area of the circle. I don't want to do anything with it. I just want area of circle. So I'm going to leave it like that. But I want to multiply by, so it's on the top. So now I have 42 feet squared is equal to the area of the circle times 45 divided by 360. Well, I know that 360 divided by 45 would be 8. So this would be 1/8. Well, how do I get rid of 1 over 8? 1 divided by 8. I just times 8 on both sides. How do I do this? I simply simplified. So now if I times 8 on both sides, 8 times 2 is 16. 8 times 4, 32. So 336 feet squared is equal to the area of the circle. All right, cool. Now there's just one little thing, like I had started writing pi r squared, but that's all we needed to do. We didn't actually need what is the area of the circle. We just needed, hey, we need to solve for this guy right here. All right, guys. Thanks very much for showing up, and I'll see you guys in class.